Congratulations! You're the most productive broke person I know. Your color-coded calendar is gorgeous, but honestly, it's literally a suicide note for your bank account. Warning: we're exposing the busy narcissism scam today. Direct: I see you, girl, juggling back-to-back Zoom calls, answering emails at 9 p.m., and feeling accomplished because you cleared your inbox, right? Authoritative: but look at your net worth. It hasn't moved in 3 years. You've been sold a lie that effort equals income. Sarcastic: I'm here to tell you that being slammed is just a low-status signal that you don't actually own your life. Warning: you've been conned into believing that a packed schedule is the same thing as a growing portfolio. It's not. It's actually a clever distraction designed to keep you from ever doing the scary, high-leverage work that actually creates wealth. Sarcastic: you're addicted to the dopamine hit of ticking off admin tasks while your actual financial future is flatlining at a 0% return on effort. Direct: I call it busy narcissism because deep down you started to believe the world would stop spinning if you didn't reply to that Slack message within 30 seconds. Sarcastic: you've made yourself the main character of a tragedy where the hero dies of stress while earning a mediocre salary. Authoritative: think about it. If you're so indispensable, why is your bank balance so disposable? Warning: you're trading 40, 50, or even 60 hours a week for a paycheck that barely covers your cost of living, all while telling yourself you're on the grind. No, you're on a treadmill. Direct: and the worst part, you're the one powering the machine for someone else's exit strategy. I'm going to show you how to stop worshiping at the altar of busy and start looking at the cold, hard math of your time. Because until you realize that your to-do list is just a list of ways you're being exploited by your boss, by your clients, and mostly by yourself, you will never be free. You're not a mogul in the making. You're just a very efficient worker bee in a hive that doesn't even know your name. It's time to wake up, before you wake up at 40 with nothing but a collection of planners and a heart condition. Let's get real for a second and look at the numbers. Because, math doesn't have an ego, and it certainly doesn't care about your feelings. You tell me you want $1 million net worth, right? I hear it all the time. But then I watch you spend 4 hours of your peak cognitive energy organizing a color-coded calendar or obsessing over aesthetic font choices for a presentation no one will even read. Those are $20 an hour administrative tasks at tops. If you're actually doing the math, and I know some of you are avoiding it, you'd realize that at $20 an hour, you'd have to work 50,000 hours just to hit that million. That is 24 years of your life, assuming you never sleep, never eat, and never pay a single cent in taxes. You're not building an empire, you're literally sabotaging your future one urgent notification at a time. We need to kill this toxic delusion that ticking boxes creates wealth. It doesn't. It just creates a very organized path to poverty. Most of you are out here trading 100% of your soul and energy for a measly 2% return on your actual net worth. You're addicted to the dopamine hit of crossing something off a list, but let's be honest, if that task doesn't increase your equity or buy back your precious time, it's not work. It's a distraction disguised as productivity. It's administrative nonsense. High-leverage activities, the stuff that actually moves the needle, like negotiating a higher salary, investing in assets, or building a scalable business, usually feel uncomfortable and risky. That's exactly why you're avoiding them in favor of clearing your inbox, isn't it? You are choosing the safety of being busy over the bravery of being wealthy. You're essentially acting as a glorified clerk for your own life and wondering why the mogul lifestyle hasn't kicked in yet. But here's the most terrifying part about this labor-to-income delusion. It's not just that you're wasting your time, it's that you've been programmed to feel a sense of moral superiority while doing it. You think being exhausted is a badge of honor,
But there's a much darker reason why your brain is so obsessed with staying in the weeds of these low-value tasks, and it has everything to do with a psychological trap you probably didn't even realize was set for you. So, how do we dismantle this psychological trap before it drains your bank account to zero? I call it the 4-step wealth audit. And fair warning, it's gonna hurt your feelings. Step 1 is the revenue audit. I want you to pull up your calendar from the last 7 days and label every single task as either wealth or scam. It's a binary choice, you know? If that task didn't directly build a scalable asset or upgrade a high income skill that puts an extra $10,000 or $50,000 in your pocket, it's a scam. That 3-hour deep dive into the perfect aesthetic for your internal team presentation? Scam. You're just playing house with your career while your net worth stays stagnant. Step 2 is the 80-20 amputation. Most of your chores are just sophisticated ways to avoid the scary work that actually pays, right? You need to stop doing the bottom 80% of your list immediately. I'm serious. The world isn't going to implode if you stop color-coding your spreadsheets or responding to every quick question on Slack within 30 seconds. You're not being efficient. You're being a victim of other people's lack of planning. Amputate the busy work before it plateaus your income forever. Step 3 is the 2-hour wealth block. This is non-negotiable. For the first 120 minutes of your day, you are in a digital bungle. No emails, no Slack, no checking in. You spend those 2 hours building your own empire before you touch a single item on anyone else's agenda. If you spend your best brain power solving your boss's problems or answering client fires at 9 a.m., don't be surprised when they're the ones buying the vacation home while you're still stressing over the grocery bill. Step 4 is where I usually lose people because of their ego. Outsource the ego tasks. If you're trying to build a 6-figure side hustle or climb to a high-level executive role, but you're still spending 4 hours every weekend scrubbing your own baseboards to save money, you're just bad at math. You're effectively hiring yourself at a $15 an hour rate. If you wouldn't accept a job for $15 an hour, why are you forcing yourself to do it? You're not being frugal, you're being a bottleneck in your own success story. But here's the thing. Even if you follow these 4 steps to the letter, there is one specific productivity hack that almost every professional woman I know is addicted to. It feels like a superpower, but it's actually the silent killer of any real wealth-building momentum. And you're probably doing it right now without even realizing it's a trap. Let's actually look at the math for a second, because, math really doesn't care about your hustle aesthetic, right? I want you to look at 2 women.
First, we have busy Brenda. Brenda is the star of the office. She arrives at 8 a.m., clears her inbox, attends every unnecessary meeting, and prides herself on being the go-to person for everyone else's problems. She earns a generous 3% cost of living raise every year. After 10 years of this, Brenda has a collection of top performer mugs, a severe case of burnout, and a bank account that barely keeps pace with inflation. She's busy, she's exhausted, and honestly, she's broke. Then there's strategic Sarah. Sarah works her job, sure, but she guards her energy like it's a finite, high-value asset. She spends 2 hours a day, not on busy work, but on building a side portfolio and automating her life through strategic outsourcing. She doesn't care about the top performer award. She cares about the compound interest. In 5 years, Sarah has built a $500,000 asset base that pays her while she sleeps. Warning. Meanwhile, Brenda has a LinkedIn recommendation from a manager who forgot her name 6 months after she left. Which one are you choosing to be? Because here is the brutal reality. You can have the aesthetic of being busy, or you can have the reality of being rich. You cannot have both. You are either building someone else's empire while your own bank account stagnates, or you are systematically buying back your time. Most of you are terrified of looking lazy by saying no to low-impact work, yet you're perfectly comfortable being lazy about your own financial future. You're trading your 30s, your highest compounding years, for a pat on the back from a company that would replace you in a week if you drop dead tomorrow. But that's not even the craziest part, is it? What if I told you that the productivity tools you're currently paying for are actually designed to keep you trapped in the Brenda cycle?
They're making sure you stay just busy enough to never actually build wealth. If you want to stop the madness and actually learn how to audit your time for profit instead of just doing, make sure you hit subscribe. We're just getting started on how to dismantle this scam. The busy narcissism ends today. I mean, seriously, stop performing work for an audience of one. You are currently acting like an unpaid intern in your own life, filing reports for a boss that doesn't exist and organizing digital folders that bring in $0. If you are ready to stop being the most productive broke person in the room, well, hit subscribe. Here is your assignment. Start your 2-hour wealth block tomorrow morning. Those first 2 hours are for high leverage activities only, things that actually move the needle on your net worth. Not email, not Slack, not researching for the 10th time, right? The rest of your day, that's for the busy work, if you even have time for it. I want you to leave a comment below right now with the one ego task you are deleting immediately. Is it the color coding, the endless networking events that lead to nothing, the podcast you're listening to instead of building your own portfolio? Declare it in the comments. Own the change. You are smart enough to build a life of freedom, but you have to be disciplined enough to stop playing office. Your bank account is waiting for you to get serious. Subscribe to Money Blueprint if you want more strategies on how to actually grow your wealth instead of just looking busy while you do it. See you in the next one.